I'm still putting him to work. We will meet for just a few minutes and pray one more time about these three before we make the final announcement. Do want to remind everyone that we do have our conference today, annual conference budget, and also as soon as we're done with service, I would like to meet with all the leadership in the office for 5 minutes while we're setting up for the conference. I have something very important I need to tell you guys. I think a huge burden is going to be lifted, and once I present it to the leadership, we'll inform the entire congregation, but I need to go through the leadership first. So right immediately after, if we could just all go to the office for the leadership, I'd appreciate it. All right, well, did anybody wear new shoes today? Anybody wearing new shoes? Everybody got on good old muddy boots? Well, you got one new shoe. Oh, I thought you said you had one new shoe. Because I believe you on the one new one. You know, society has led us to believe that words don't hurt. Society has led us to believe that you can talk about someone and, you know, it's really not a sin. It's not a sin because there's really no direct repercussions here on earth. The old adage, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. I think we all know that's a bunch of hooey, right? Words cut deep. Words last a lot longer than actions last. Men, if you don't believe me, just ask your wife, because they remember what you told them 27 years ago. Words last for a long time. So I'd like for you guys to turn with me to page 930 if you're in Learning the Ropes. We're going to be in James 1:26. James chapter 1, verse 26. If you claim to be religious, but don't control your tongue, you are fooling yourself, and your religion is worthless. Read that one more time. If you claim to be religious, but don't control your tongue, you're fooling yourself, and your religion is worthless. We have a tendency to let ourselves get wrapped up in gossip and slander, lies, and it's because society has led us to believe that that's okay. But we just read God's word saying that you're fooling yourself. If you claim to be religious and you can't watch what you say, you're fooling yourself and your religion is worthless. It's you know, technology today is it's the devil's playground, okay? I've said Facebook is the devil's playground before, but you throw in your Twitter and your Snapchat and all those other ones, it's real easy to slander and gossip and lie when you're sitting behind your computer or your phone. Why is that? There's no human contact there. It's just you and a computer. And you can get caught up in everything. You can say what you want to say and you don't think there's anything to be dealt with because there's nobody standing in front of you when you say it. But millions of people are reading what you say. Millions of people are seeing that you do events and you participate and you check in at Saltgrass Cowboy Church or First Baptist of Arcadia or Our Lady of Lourdes or wherever, but yet you're cussing and you're posting pictures and you're getting involved in gossip on Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat. What we just read should have just stepped on somebody's toes. Somebody should be feeling the effects of the Bible right now. God's Word should be putting something on somebody's heart that we need to watch what we're posting. Watch what we're saying. Watch which groups you get involved in. And if there's a bunch of slander and gossip going on, walk away. Walk away. Turn to turn to page 492 if you're in Learning the Ropes. It's going to be Proverbs 16:24. Proverbs 16:24. Kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul and healthy for the body. Remember when your mama was, when you were being raised up and your mom would say, boy, if you don't have nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all.
Amen.
That applies. That applies. That's a morsel that will never go away. That's a tidbit of information that your mama passed down from ages and ages and ages. And you should be passing it on to your kids. If you don't have anything good to say, just don't say anything. Getting wrapped up in a battle of words on Twitter or on Facebook where you're just continually, and you know what? I'm going to stop right there, because if you get on Facebook, you know that if you click on one link, it'll show you like however many thousands of people have replied to this one thing, right? If you just go on there and you don't say anything bad, you just put LOL or a smiley face and you send it. You just join that group. Your message is now tied in with all the slander, all the gossip, and people see your name. It's a thin line. It's a thin line, and you have to walk it. Okay? Do you fall in with society, or do you fall in with the Bible? Gossip, slander, lying, they're sin. Plain and simple, sin. It's wrong. You know it's wrong. 9 times out of 10, after you say something, you realize, whoop, can't take that one back. If you've ever been in an argument with your spouse, you know somebody has said something they didn't mean to say. And it's caused more damage than if you'd just kept your mouth shut, right? If you don't have anything good to say, just don't say nothing. Don't say anything. Think of yourselves as a ship, not the Titanic. Just think of yourselves as a boat, a ship. What steers the ship? The rudder. What is the rudder of your body? Your tongue. Okay? So if you allow yourself to get into the gossip and the slander and the lies, your boat is now turning. Your ship is now turning. You're no longer on the straight and narrow path. You can build people up all day long. You can say loving things all day long. You can tell somebody you love them all day long. You look nice today. That is a nice set of earrings. Charlie, that's a nice shirt. You could go on and on and on, but the minute, the very second something negative comes out of your mouth, none of that good stuff means a thing. None of it. Because those good words are now gone forever, and the negative comments are here to stay. Negative comments, gossip, slander, words will never hurt me was a bunch of bull. Okay? Turn with me to page, let me flip through here, sorry. Page 94, let's go to Leviticus right quick. Get a little Old Testament on you this morning. Leviticus 19:16, chapter 19, verse 16. Do not spread slanderous gossip among your people. What's so hard to understand there? Do not. That means don't. Do not spread slanderous gossip among your people. Anybody ever read that before? Anybody ever been to Leviticus and read that? You all have now. You have just been informed. Leviticus says, do not spread slanderous gossip among your people. So for all you here for the first time today that didn't even know Leviticus was a part of the Bible, now you know. And now you know what it says, do not do. We have to curb our tongues. We have to watch what we say, when we say it, how we say it, because you may have very good intentions, but your presentation may suck. Okay? You may not know how to say it right. So you need to think these things over. Pray about it. If you can't say anything good, don't say anything at all. Why are you laughing at me? She's having a good time. Let's flip back over to Proverbs, page 484, if you're in Learning the Ropes. And Danny, I did do the checking. The new Learning the Ropes and the old Learning the Ropes are the same pages. Funny how that works out. Exactly, Delilah. Proverbs chapter 6, verses 16 through 19. There are 6 things the Lord hates. No, 7 things he detests. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that kill the innocent, a heart that plots evil, feet that race to do wrong, a false witness who pours out lies, a person who sows discord in a family. So 2 out of 7 on the things that the Lord hates and detests have to do with your mouth. A lying tongue and false witness. False witness means you lie, telling stories. So we've learned, do not do it. We've learned there's 2 out of 7 things that involve our tongue that God hates and detests. Turn with me to page 786 in Luke. I'm sorry I'm going a little bit fast today. Got the conference coming up, meetings and all kinds of stuff going on today. So ain't nobody rushing. Page 786, Luke 6, verse 31. Do to others as you would have them do to you. It's in red letters, yes ma'am. It is in red letters. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's pretty easy to get angry and act out and say things you don't mean and then spend the rest of your life trying to make it up. But it would be so much simpler if we would just remember that one verse. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And before you kick someone in the rear end like I did last night. It was a gentle kick, but it was an attention getter. Before you say something that's going to cause lasting effects, before you get physical and do something that you're going to regret that could cost you even more than just a friendship or a relationship or a love, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I think that we have touched on the fact that love is the greatest of all these several times over the past 4 or 5 months. Love is the cure-all. Love can heal everything, right? And we know that we have the love of Jesus. We know that we have the love of God. But yet we somehow forget. We let our human side take over and we forget to do unto others. If you want respect, you have to show respect. If you want love, you have to show love. If you want kindness, you have to be kind. If you're negative, if you're angry, if you're depressed, people can only do so much before they start acting the same way you're acting. It's infectious. It's like a disease. It just spreads. Do unto others. Love everybody. You don't have to take them to dinner. You don't have to buy them a new car or whatever. Just love them. You don't even have to really like them. The Bible doesn't tell you to like anybody. It says love everybody. Still, you don't have to like them. But you need to love them. Don't act out. Don't say things that you can never take back. Once you put it out on the internet, folks, it ain't going anywhere. It's there forever. You post a negative comment about anybody, it's there. They may not see it as soon as you hit send, but it's going to catch up because they know about 25 people that you know. And before you know it, 125 people know it, and they're all calling him on the phone because, hey, you got to check Facebook, man. They're running you down. Next thing you know, there's a turf war building. That's how it works. I've seen it. Okay? And I'm not telling you because you check in at Saltgrass Cowboy Church or at Our Lady of Lourdes or whatever, that's the reason that you need to watch what you post. Because that's minute. Yeah, is it possible you can bring a bad name to whatever church you checked into and then started cussing on Facebook? Yeah, more than likely. That's just going to add to all the people that are non-believers thinking, oh, there you go. That's why I don't go to church right there. Okay? But the more important thing is you've just sinned and you need to check yourself. You need to get with God and fix it. Okay? What happens at the church happens at the church. People are going to come, people are going to go. God is going to pull people here when he feels like they need to be here. So don't worry about what people think about you checking into the church and then doing something like that. Check yourself because you've gotten caught up in sin and you don't know how to get out. If that means canceling your Facebook account or your Twitter or whatever, or if it means just looking at it and don't post anything ever, however you need to deal with it, you need to pray about it. And you need to get God to give you some guidance on how to deal with your slanderous, gossiping self. Because he hates it. He detests it. He wants you to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Do you like flipping on Facebook and seeing something bad about you being written? Do you like walking down the grocery store aisle and hearing a group of people talking, and as soon as you get close, they say, oh, here. No, nobody likes that. So why are you putting it out there? Why are you doing it? Why are you being the one to instigate it? Why are you being the one to continually just keep jumping in these chats with a smiley face or a thumbs up? Even though you didn't say anything, you're now a part of it. You're agreeing with them by doing anything. As soon as you reply to any of it, you just agreed with them whether you intended to or not. Unless you're jumping on there to defend somebody. If you're jumping on to defend them, more power to you. Turn with me to page 817. We're going to go to John 8:44. Chapter 8, verse 44. John the Baptist. All right, here. Pick your feet up. Somebody's fixing to get their toes stepped on again. For you are the children of your father the devil, and you love to do evil things he does. He was a murderer from the beginning. He has always hated the truth because there is no truth in him. When he lies, it is consistent with his character, for he is a liar and the father of all lies. So, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? The devil or God? Because if you're out there lying, your daddy's the devil. Your daddy is the devil. That is red letter edition, ladies and gentlemen. For you are the children of your father the devil, and you love to do the evil things he does. He was a murderer from the beginning. He has always hated the truth because there is no truth in him. When he lies, it is consistent with his character, for he is a liar and the father of lies. You're lying, you're gossiping, you're slandering. Your daddy's the devil. Jesus just told you, red letter edition, right here. So who's your daddy? Today's the day you need to decide who your daddy is. You want to be on the right side or the wrong side? Flip the coin, draw the straws, or just go ahead and make the decision right here, right now, that I don't want to have my name associated to do with anything but the father of lies, which is Satan himself. Hard to believe, isn't it? Hard to believe words can be so damning. Words, they're just words, Brother Kevin. They don't mean anything. Wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Gossip is not going to get you where you want to go. If you're here today, it's because you want to get closer to God. You want to be closer to Jesus. You want to feel the Holy Spirit. You want to know what it feels like to just feel good all the time. But if your daddy is sitting on your right shoulder and he's in all red, carrying a pitchfork, you're not going to get there. Remember the cartoon where you got the devil and the angel sitting up here? Don't let your daddy be the devil. Don't let your daddy be the devil. Get away. Walk away. Turn from sin. Turn and run. Right, we've talked about that before. Just turn and run. We don't think about words being our sin, being the thing that's going to condemn us, convict us, keep us from getting to heaven, but we just read 4 scriptures. Fixed to read another one. Slander, gossip, lies, born of the devil, not of Jesus. God hates it. He detests it. It's all written in the good book. I just highlighted a few things so you can do your own research. Please double check me. Okay? It was kind of ironic that David had chose A Closer Walk with Me this morning from one of the songs, because I am weak and he is strong. And that goes for all of us. We have to continually be on our knees in prayer, asking for the forgiveness that we've already gotten. We've already received it. We've been forgiven of our sins, and yet we continually try to pull off more sin. We haven't figured out that just because he forgave us, there are all these other things we have to get done before we can get to heaven. And if we can't follow his example and follow his word and follow his instructions and learn from things that say do not do this, I do not like this, I detest it, speaking in Jesus' terms, I hate these things, but we continue to do them, he's going to punish us like any good father would do. Words hurt. Words bad. People should just never talk. I figured I'd get a bigger response out of that one. We'll throw that one in the don't use again pile. Look, the fact of the matter is, the key things to remember: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And if you don't want somebody talking bad about you, about your wife, your daughter, your son, your mother, your father, whatever, your best friend, your bestie, then don't talk bad about anybody else. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. If you think things are fixing to get real tough on you, just blurt out, "I love you," and turn around and walk away. As uncomfortable as that may be in the situation, it's going to make them, number one, step back and go, "What just happened here?" Well, he said, like I kissed Mr. Smith on the cheek the other day. He chased me for like 2 weeks trying to catch me and tell me never do that again. But you know what? You get it. You kiss them, you run. You make them chase you. You know? It's the same thing with your words. You know, if you're getting angry, and the situation's getting intense, so you know what? I love you. We're done. They're going to go, what in the world just happened here? Then all of a sudden, all the anger has subsided. The bad feelings have calmed down a little bit. Your blood pressures have dropped. Maybe eventually you can start talking about it again. Love is amazing.
I love you too, David.
I love you too, Mr. Smith. P.S. You need to shave. Oh, man. Turn with me to page, go back to the Old Testament right quick. Page 59, we're going to be in Exodus. I got him tickled now, I can't stop. We're going to be in Exodus chapter 20, and I want you to go down to verse 16. This is part of the 10 Commandments, okay? Everybody know the 10 Commandments? Thou must not murder, commit adultery, steal. Number 16 says, you must not testify falsely against your neighbor. What is gossip? What is truth? Two very different words right there, gossip and truth. Gossip, probably 99% of the time, is false. False accusations. You must not testify falsely against your neighbor, right out of the 10 Commandments, chiseled in stone. But yet we do it. We do it on a daily basis. We're not perfect, no. No, we're not. But we are expected to live our lives in the model with which Jesus gave us in the Bible. Too many times, and this, I don't mean to involve your situation in this, but too many times families have one little fallout, little argument, and they don't talk to each other for years. My dad and his brother, my uncle, when my uncle's wife passed away from cancer, he just checked out. He just checked out. Weren't any harmful words said because my dad loved my aunt. It was just something that the presentation was not correct. And if you know my dad, you'll understand that he kind of like Danny. He just blurts things out. It is what it is. He didn't mean anything by it. It wasn't meant to be hateful or derogatory in any way. But my uncle, being emotional from the loss of his wife, in distress, depressed, took it the wrong way, he checked out. Had no contact with my uncle for probably 10, 12 years. So words do hurt. You may not mean anything by it. You may be a little blunt like myself or Danny or some of these other people around here. You may by omission, not saying anything to a reply, cause somebody to have their feelings hurt. It's crazy how it works, but the point is, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Please try to keep that in the forefront of your mind as you move forward through your life. And if all else fails, say Taco Bell Nachos Bel Grande. Because that makes everything better. Especially in traffic. One more scripture for you, and then we'll close this up. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Two more scriptures. Turn with me to page 819, John 10:10. Y'all remember a few months back, it was probably September or October of last year, I stood up here and I told y'all the thief was coming. John chapter 10, verse 10 says, the thief's purpose is to steal and kill and destroy. My purpose is to give them a rich and satisfying life. That's red letter. That's Jesus telling you what the devil's purpose is and what his purpose is. The devil wants to steal, kill, and destroy. And I'm here to tell you today that words destroy. The devil is the father of all lies. We learned that today. What does Jesus say his purpose is? To give them a rich and satisfying life.